Welcome to Fridays for Fundraising. In the next 5 minutes, you're going to learn one step you can take before you leave the office today that can move fundraising forward for your small nonprofit. Hi, I'm Kelly, founder of From Scratch Fundraising, where we help nonprofit leaders raise more dough without burning anything. Every Friday, I'm here to serve up one bite-sized fundraising assignment that you can tackle in about an hour. Think of it as your weekly recipe for sustainable fundraising success. No overwhelm, just actionable steps that actually move the needle. Before we dive in, I want to say a quick thank you to DonorBox for making today's episode possible. DonorBox is a powerful online fundraising platform that lets you create customizable donation forms, accept digital wallet payments, track donations, send auto receipts seamlessly, and so much more. Just visit DonorBox.org to sign up and start fundraising today. DonorBox, helping you help others. And in honor of May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm teaming up with DonorBox to offer a very special workshop. It's called How to Fundraise Without Burning Out. It's going to be on May 22nd, that's a Friday, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., and that's Eastern Time. Usually I charge $150 for admission to these extended workshops because they are so much work for me, but DonorBox has paid your admission, so it's free for you. In this 90-minute workshop, we're going to get very real about fundraiser burnout, the causes, why we stay stuck, and solutions that actually work. If you're a fundraiser who has ever thought, if I can just get through this next gala, event, campaign, fiscal year, whatever, then I'll be okay on the other side. Or if I can just get my board to approve this expense on this conference, fundraising tool, consultant, whatever, I won't be so stressed. And then you get through it and the grass isn't any greener. This workshop is for you. In this deep dive workshop, we're going to learn what stress really is from a physiological perspective, how the understanding of the physicality of stress has to inform our response to it, techniques to manage stress in the moment and for the long term, ways that our environment can keep us stressed and how to assess the changes we need to make in our environment, and finally, the key to keeping fundraising specific burnout at bay, and that is my framework for sustainable fundraising. By the end, you'll have all of the information you need to build a burnout recovery action plan and a workbook to help you build it. And this week on the podcast, I want to give you a little preview of what you're going to learn in that workshop. The first thing is about the physiological aspects of stress that keep us in this feeling of burnout, right? One of the things that we often don't understand and isn't explained to us is that physicality. When something happens that is stressful, a grant deadline creeps up on you, a gala or other special event is next week, anything like that. And it can be something even as simple as a notification goes off and you see you got an email from your boss, right? What happens in our body is so critical, and it's the component we're ignoring the most. What happens is our body goes into a stress response. It starts triggering hormones and other reactions in your body that were meant to be short-term reactions to stressors that we evolved to deal with, right? I always hate using this analogy, but it's the one we go to, running from a lion, right? Running from a predator, something like that. We evolved when that's what we needed to respond to, and it was once in a blue moon types of things. Now, every time your phone pings, your body goes through this same response. And that is the response that's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So fight, we know what that is. That's the response that makes us want to get real angry and fight our way out of it. Flight, oh, I don't want to be here. I want to run away. Fawn is actually a learned trauma response to stress. And so that's not the purview of this workshop. There are tons of people doing way more interesting in-depth work on trauma responses to stress, and I would encourage you to look those up. But for the purposes of this workshop, we're talking about freeze. Freeze is the burnout response. And I think we know in animals what freeze is. It's that deer in the headlights. It's the animal playing dead. It was actually a way our bodies physiologically developed in order to facilitate painless death, as awful as that sounds, in a situation that it didn't see a way out of. And see, the thing is, in this modern world, when we face a stressor, our normal human responses are not acceptable. You cannot punch a grant deadline. You can't punch the board member that is making your life miserable, right? I don't recommend that. Do not go around punching board members. It won't help things. We also can't get up and run away. You can't outrun a grant deadline, right? You'll look a little weird and might lose your job if you get up and run out of a board meeting or a staff meeting that's stressing you out, right? We can't do these things that we evolved to do. And so our body learns that there is nothing we can do with these stress hormones. And so we get to that point, like the deer in the headlights, where we freeze. We don't know what to do anymore. And so we become paralyzed by the stress response. And I want you to sit with that for a minute. And we're going to dive way, way deeper into that on the workshop and what it means and everything. But burnout is the freeze response. It's the stop and play dead response. Okay. And I think when we ignore that, we look for all the wrong solutions to burnout. It is this buildup and an ability to use fight or flight or the things that we evolved to handle stress with that keeps us in this state of burnout. And this is why all the bubble baths in the world will not work. I just want to read you a quote from a beautiful book. If you haven't found it, it's called Burnout: The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle. It's by Emily and Amelia Nagoski. It's an absolutely wonderful book. And this quote really stopped me in my tracks when I read it the first time. When we deprive ourselves of our own basic needs as mammals under the misguided apprehension that that's how we show our commitment to an issue or to the people we love, we burn out and then we drop out. Only by making sure we have as much energy coming in as we have going out can we all stay committed to the people, the work, and ideas that we love. And I think that's the hidden threat in burnout. That's the hidden threat in not stopping to learn about what burnout really is we just continue to work through it. And especially in the nonprofit sector, when we are working with people who are worse off than we are, when we are working with people whose lives are in danger, when we are working on such critical issues that it's really hard to stop and take that pause, we keep pushing and we keep pushing. But unfortunately, your body will find a way to stop you if you don't get ahead of it. And so the big lesson and the things we're going to work through in this workshop are about how we flip that script. It's about how we get back into our bodies and understand what is actually happening to us, what is happening to us physically as we work in this sector. Not to make you depressed, not to make you want to find a new job. Absolutely not. I want you to be here. But knowing that turnover rates are so high in our industry, knowing that time and time again, HR reports on fundraising say that 40% of fundraisers plan to quit their current job in the next year, and over 20% consistently say they plan to leave the profession. But fundraisers are who make nonprofits work. We are the ones building the resources. And so by no means is this workshop going to discourage you. In fact, I hope what this workshop does is gives you the stress management tools and knowledge so that you can stay at your organization, that you can stay in our industry, so that we can continue to bake the world a better place. Sorry, cheesy had to, but it was getting a little too heavy in here. All right. So really quickly before I finish out and give you your assignment for this week, I just want to tell you some of the stress management tools that you're going to learn about in the workshop. But in case you can't come to the workshop, I want you to have a quick takeaway. Stress management is not about making the stress go away. It's actually about tuning into our body's physiological signs and responding to stress in ways that our body understands. Stress management is about making your body feel safe. We can write the grant. We can be really proud of the grant we wrote. We can get through the gala, be really proud of the gala that we put on. And if we don't then tell our body, hey, we did this thing and now we're safe and now the tiger is gone, right? We will stay in the stress response, even though the thing stressing us out is over. And this is the thing we don't tend to hear about in stress management. We have to be doing things that make our body feel safe, because when our body feels safe, it calms down the stress response. So what can we do to make our bodies feel safe? First and foremost, fight or flight. That is what our bodies evolved to understand, is we fight our way out of it or we run away and then we're safe. Like I said, I don't encourage you to start punching out board members, but what we can do is simulated fighting. Kickboxing. I cannot tell you the number of nonprofit workers I have talked to who love kickboxing because it is that punch, punch, kick, like simulated fighting, martial arts. These things help tell your body you are safe. Yeah. You go, you do the thing, and then your body's stress response goes, okay, we fought our way out. We're okay now. And these are things we can do after the thing is done, after the grant is turned in, after the gala is over. It's also things we can do to keep our body calm while we're in it. Daily kickboxing classes while you're working up to the gala. And in fact, when you know you're going to be in a uniquely stressful period, finding those times to do that kind of stuff is really, really critical. Flight, similarly, running is actually one of the most effective ways to shut down your body's stress response, because you run and even short periods are enough to like spike that heart rate and then tell you you're safe. So these are two very physically embodied ways of dealing with stress. But other things that helped us evolve to know we were safe was being in community with people. And if there's anything we're good at in the nonprofit community, it's community, right? Hugs, signs of affection, snuggling with a pet, hugging your family members, right? These are things that help your body feel safe. And I think sometimes we get stressed out and we get a little prickly. I'm this kid. When I get stressed out, I want to go in my room and have nobody bother me or talk to me ever again. I'm that kid. But I try to make it intentional to sit with my dog, to give my kiddo a hug, to build in some extra snuggle time, even if it's not exactly what I want, because I know on the other side, it's going to tell my body that I'm okay, right? And then the last one that I think is so easy to implement is just having positive social interactions. And this is something I've implemented and it makes my life so much better. But it's when you're checking out at the grocery store, don't ignore the person. Don't opt for the self-checkout. Go to the grocery store clerk and say, hey, how are you? How's your day going? That kind of thing. Having positive social interactions with people. I used to have a boss that would walk through the office every day when it was 5 o'clock and she was leaving, and she would put her head into each person's office on her way out. All of our 32-person staff, she was a wonder. And she would put her head in the office and just say, hey, I just want to say thank you so much for all your hard work today. And usually we would respond in kind, oh, thanks for your leadership. Thanks for whatever. Thanks for getting back to me on this thing, right? It was just this moment of positivity that we could have no matter how hard the day was, that helped us end it with this positive interaction. Okay. So those are some of the things we're going to dive even more deeply into. So if this podcast episode was helpful, imagine this, but 2 hours of it. Yeah. So your assignment right now is to sign up. I want you to look at your calendar and clear out next Friday, May 22nd from 2 to 4 p.m. And again, that's Eastern time. Clear it out. Move any meetings you have. Hold that time sacred. Yes, I will send out the recording, but this is a live workshop. It's built on you asking questions. It's built on you bringing your real life scenario to me and us talking through it. So you're going to get so much more out of it if you attend live. So look at your calendar, clear it out, make space so you can attend. And then go into the show notes for this episode and register. And then make sure you join us live. And I promise you, this is the greatest gift you will make to your fundraising this year. And it's really focusing on you so that you can keep sticking with it. When you sign up for the workshop, you're going to get access to the workshop itself, but also 2 weeks of email support after the workshop so that you can ask me any questions that bubble up as you build your burnout recovery action plan. You'll get a workbook to help you build your burnout recovery action plan. And you'll also get a discount code for a one-on-one strategy session with me to talk through it or any fundraising challenges that I can bring my expertise to. And again, I used to charge $150 for this workshop, but my friends at DonorBox stepped up. They wanted this to be free for fundraisers, which is what I love about how committed they are to fundraising and nonprofit professionals. So this is free thanks to DonorBox. So follow the links in the show notes and you can register today. So a quick reminder, your homework assignment is clear out your calendar and sign up for the workshop next week. And that's it. I won't say it's a quick win because recovering from burnout is a long process, but it's the single most important thing you can do today to raise more dough without burning anything. Remember, fundraising success isn't guesswork. It's following the recipe. Meet me here next week.
Now go make the world a better place.